You're listening to Ignite Your Success, a podcast that inspires fitness professionals to build a strong business that enables them to serve more people and engineer the lifestyle they desire. It's Brad Shepherd here, and together with Jason Ubanowicz, we're best known for running Trainer HQ, a community of passionate and profit-hungry fitness business owners that make a massive difference in others' lives every day. Each episode will unpack for you exactly what's working and deliver best practice strategies so you can confidently grow your business and make a huge impact. Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Trainer HQ podcast. And today I'm joined by 2024 Master Coach of the Year, Coach Cal. How you going, brother?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me. Super pumped.
Mate, great to have you in Brisbane. And, mate, you're up here for a very special occasion. Tell us what's got you up here.
Running a workshop. So, the Trainer HQ Business Building Workshop.
Love it, brother. Love it. And you're pumped. You've got yourself up here. 7-hour drive from home.
Yep.
We brought you in. And, mate, we want to spend today to start to unpack a bit about the type of stuff we're going to be teaching in the workshop tomorrow, and also for everyone tuning into this, just so they can wrap their head around some of the concepts, and there'll be some takeaways, so things that people can start to implement straight away. So do you want to unpack a bit about what you're going to be delivering tomorrow?
Yeah, so the topic is AI-powered content strategies. Like, how can you use ChatGPT or really any AI language model to essentially do a bit of heavy lifting when it comes to creating content, right? And getting that written copy that a lot of people struggle with. So, it's really cool. Yeah,
it's great. That's what we love about these business building workshops, is that it's an event where it's not just turn up and teach a bunch of content. It's actually, there's learning, that we're teaching the methodology, but there's also actioning and doing, which is also critical in this type of event.
Yeah, they've got some work to do.
They got their work cut out for them. Now, AI, let's say there's a bunch of people tuning into this, they go, hey, I've heard about this, still relatively new to me, might have jumped on ChatGPT. Do you want to just give an overview for people who might be like complete noobs to this,
Yeah, so it's a large language learning model or something like that, something along those lines. But essentially, it just takes data from the internet and it can spit out answers to questions for you, amongst a million other things it can do. But for the purpose of the workshop, it's like, how can we utilize it to essentially help you create content and ideate for you, like do some ideation for you, come up with these ideas and just take a bit of pressure off. Yeah, so good. And really, I guess it falls under the banner of marketing and so forth. So let's talk a bit about what the marketing concept, because I know we were, just before we went live on this, we were speaking about the importance. And I think back to when I learned marketing, we learnt the methodology behind it. Marketing has a strategy behind it. There's a framework, there's a concept. You did the same thing, right? Yeah, exactly. And like I said, before we kicked off, I was like, I'm so glad that I was born early enough and it came through and learnt this stuff early enough before ChatGPT and AI kicked off, that I learned how to do it for myself. So now I can see the way with it and I understand it, and I could always go and do it manually myself as well. But in the modern age with these tools, like, why not use them? And it just means that you can quicken up the pace, you can speed up, you can get more content out more often at a potentially better quality too, right? Because you're just not wasting time. Like, you can just pump it out.
Yeah, I know for myself personally, if I was relaying this to someone the other day and just explaining how I use it as a tool, where previously if I was to design a website sales page, which was a meaty sales page, headline, sub-headline, benefits-driven copy. There's plenty in it inside there, social proof, testimonials, the list goes on. I'd say that type of project could take me the better part, and if I was to sit down from start to finish, probably 2 full days, roughly. And but now with the help of these type of tools and resources, I can get probably 90% of the way there, maybe in a few hours.
Yeah.
You know, probably talking 2 hours or so.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's a game changer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Big game changer. And we even use it just to help write emails for us as well, right? So it can help, like in business, you know, you always got different stresses and all that sort of stuff. If you've got to write back to a challenging email or a disgruntled client or something like that, you can always jump in and just take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, write an email back with this style of response and this kind of outcome.
Yeah.
It'll spit it out nice and professional for you, and you can just save time there as well. So there's a hot tip.
100%. Yeah. I guess the hot tip is any PT tuning into this, like, you got to get on it, right? So you have got to get on it. And if you're not, you're falling behind. It's like, I look at it like, you know, it's way more powerful than video. But if we backtrack, you know, 15 years ago, we were saying to people, all right, you got to start shooting videos, you know?
Yeah.
And we'd be running our business building workshops where we literally taught people, you know, iPhone, you know, even before the iPhone came out, taught people how to actually shoot a video and sit in front of it. Now, those of you who are listening to this going, what? I grew up with this stuff, you know. But it was a thing, right? And we used to have people actually absolutely shitting themselves standing in front of a camera and you know, relaying information, you know. So fast forward 15 years down the track, this is another game-changing moment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Unpack for us the you know, some of the important first stages before we embark on this journey that we'll be doing tomorrow.
The first thing you need to understand is who the hell you're talking to, right? Who is your audience, right? If we're talking about creating content for a particular audience, if you're a personal trainer out there, who do you want to work with? Who are your people, and what are they struggling with, right? So there's the first step is like, right, I find out that, because if you just put into ChatGPT, hey, I'm a personal trainer, create me some marketing copy, it's just going to be ultra generic and most likely, probably definitely, won't work as well, right? So starting with who you serve is a big one.
Yeah, so powerful. And it's back to that thing, like we speak to many trainers, you know, who do you train? Well, I can train anyone. Yeah, oh, that's great. I'm sure we all could, right? But where do you find anyone? Well, they're everywhere, and that's fucking hard to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and look, it's a noble cause. I started out as a PT doing that, right? I'm sure most people did. But ultimately, if you want long-term business success, my advice is niche down, find your people. Yeah. So stay in one lane.
So if you got yourself and Tal, you got your successful online business running, do you want to just unpack who you serve, and that might help others to sort of get inspiration in terms of how they can go searching for their own?
Yeah. So we help busy women finally lose weight without feeling bored, overwhelmed, and hungry. That's our main message, right? So if you're a busy woman and you've tried everything under the sun and failed time and time again, we're the people, right? And when you land on our Instagram, if you don't see that, then you know, we mustn't be doing it right. So ultimately, if like a bloke landed on our page whose goal was to get as jacked as possible, he'd land on that page and with 0.3 of a second, he'd be like, well, I'm in the wrong spot. And that's a great outcome for me because I don't want to work with him. Yeah. Right. So we're looking for our people, and all of our marketing is tailored towards that audience.
Yeah. Love it. So good. And if someone was in that category and they wanted to come and find this Instagram, and what's the page that they would come to? Yeah,
it's all one word, The Fit Female Factor. And you'll see my wife, Talia, she's the face of the business on there. So
yeah. So good. All right, cool. So let's say we've done that. Identifying a niche is so critical. And again, we speak about finding a niche that enables you to be able to make sure that you can be very specific to that niche. It's deep. There's plenty of people in there, but it's not too broad. So that's the other part. What's the next stage in the process?
Yeah. Also, like, you need to understand exactly that not everybody who comes into your world, not every new follower on Instagram, or let's just use Instagram as an example, not every new follower is going to be ready to buy, right? So they're going to land on your page and they might not even be aware that they've got a problem, right? They might just be like, oh, I kind of like what they're saying, but I'm not really looking for any help. Or there might be someone who is like actively looking for a solution but not quite ready to buy. So we've got to understand the stages of customer awareness, and it's the 5 stages of customer awareness. So ultimately it starts with the unaware phase, then there's the problem aware phase, the solution aware phase, product aware and then most aware as well. So they're ready to buy at that stage. So being able to create content that lands in every single one of those stages so you can hit your audience wherever they're at on their journey and bring them through. So you might be able to post something that's about the problem that you solve, and then you can move that potential new customer up a stage into the solution stage. So creating multiple different versions of your copy that can land and hit at the different stages of awareness is super important, because if you just call to action all the time, meaning buy my thing,
Yeah.
it may work, but you're going to be leaving out a portion of your followers that just aren't quite ready yet.
Yes.
They're going to be like, I'm sick of being sold to, because they're not ready.
Yep. Yeah. I love it so much. Would you say that you guys, out of the 5 stages, would you say that there's one area that you put more focus into? Or do you go, hey, we find ways to split our content evenly? Or
yeah, we try and split it up. Ultimately, we probably don't post that much unaware stuff. The ladies that land on our page would be, we believe, mostly aware that, you know, they want to lose some weight and all that sort of stuff. They've already struggled with it their whole lives, right? But yeah, we always hitting mostly on the problem and solution, and just really trying to provide value and establish ourselves as experts in that world, right? So we can just nurture in those middle stages, and the ones that get themselves to a ready state where they're like, you know what, I think this person is the right coach for me. I'm going to find out more, fill out inquiry form, right? So yeah, probably those middle stages would be the biggest hitters for us.
Yeah, fantastic. And I mean, now that we're spitballing this, we go back and that unaware stage probably is going to go back to even, you know, paid ad campaigns and so forth. If we're going quite broad in terms of our targeting, then it can be like, hey, let's try and hit as many people as we can. Let's open up the net. And then as we bring them down through the funnel, then we can sort of people can start to self-select and weed themselves out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I said, if they land on your page and decide it's for them, awesome. But if you're not the right person for them, that's great too. Like, because you just want to filter through the people that you're looking for, right? So once you understand who your people are, it becomes so much easier to find your people, right? Especially once you practice getting clearer on your message.
Yeah. And as a coach, I mean, now you've seen hundreds of PTs and seen their business and seen their business model. And if we stay on Instagram, and the reason why we stay on Instagram is, I'd say it's probably one of the most popular platforms that we've seen across the board. Look, we've got clients who use Facebook, we've got clients who use TikTok, we've got clients who use LinkedIn, you know, and once again, it's purely drives back to your niche, right? So anyone tuning into this and they're going, okay, it seems to be quite Instagram centric. Well, it's probably one of the biggest drivers, especially when you make reference to your market. You're talking, you know, young busy mums, etc. Women who are looking to lose weight, all that. It's probably highly likely. However, if you're targeting male corporates, you know, over the age of 50, you know, in high paid positions, et cetera, there's probably a good chance that LinkedIn might be the spot, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So it's got to be specific to that. I had a question or a point, but I've just completely lost it. But anyway, I'm sure it would have been
awesome.
It would have been a good one. Yeah, it would have been excellent. Yeah, so I think about that and I go, the importance of really drilling down on that and understanding it is just so paramount and critical. So how does that now correlate to the creation of content?
Yeah, essentially. So you always go back to the niche, and we still go back to our niche and try and squeeze out those 1%ers. Then you're targeting those 5 stages of awareness. But when it comes to AI, you only get out what you put in. So you've got to ask good questions, and by understanding who your people are, then you can add those key words and use that key language to describe who your people are, and prompt ChatGPT to spit out content in a way that's almost done, I would say 98% of the work for you. You might just need to come through and humanize it after that, because it's not quite that good yet. Yeah.
The things I love about it and playing around with it, and once again, anyone who's kind of new to it and they're going, all right, I've heard about this thing many times, I've got to jump in there, like, have some fun with it, you know, like you get Chat to spit out some information or some content, then you just go, I'm liking the sound of that. Can you make it a bit cheekier, you know?
Yeah. I really like to go, make it more bogan. Go, more bogan, even more bogan.
Yeah, and then keep going. You go, all right, do it in Snoop Dogg's language, please. Yep. And just you just keep going. And then the other part, to if there's someone that you admire, and professionally, you might go, put it in this person's narrative or this person's voice.
Exactly, and it's one of the key things we do with a lot of our content as well. We follow a lot of social media, marketing gurus and stuff online, and even like, it's not that we're going to go buy anything off them. Some of them we might look into what their products are and all that sort of stuff, but we really like the tone of some of them, the way they explain things, the language they use, and you find your people that you don't have to be that, hyper excited trainer all the time. If you're a bit softer spoken, find someone who does it the way you would like to do it and say, hey, can you create content in the tone and, style of XYZ, this person, and it can spit that out for you. You can even grab their Instagram handle and chuck that into ChatGPT and get it to reference their material, so it'll spit out better content for you in their style that might just get you across the line and get you out of your, that feeling of like I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to do it. But if they can spit it out in a way that makes you more comfortable and you're more likely to be consistent with posting on social media, then do it.
Yeah. And once again, from I know where I was going with that other question. Now you've seen hundreds of PTs and you've analysed their business. Like we said, when we come to your Instagram page, it's very clear on what you do. There's no doubts about that. That's for sure. Analysing many people. I mean, when they're starting up with us, obviously when they're on the journey with Train HQ, we're going to hope that they've taken on all the information, the content, and have really niched. But would you say that what you've observed is a lot of general stuff out there?
Yeah, 100%. It's I remember one of my early USPs, or an elevator pitch. Essentially, it was like health, fitness, and most importantly, lifestyle, helping you achieve your health and fitness goals. So you can feel better than ever or something like that. It was just like super generic and like you for what reason? What does health and fitness mean to you, right? So it's just not specific enough. You need to find your people. Yeah. So we see it all the time. We get to analyse thousands of people come through into Train HQ and I guess engage with the community on some level. They might join our Facebook group or download a lead magnet or a resource or whatever. And those that make it through to that stage of us having a conversation with them, one of the first things we'll do is do a bit of homework. We'll check out their Instagram, they have a website, all that sort of stuff. And again, I'd say for a large number of people, especially those who haven't understood this, it's not clear on what they do, who they serve, and the problems that they're seeking to do. Yeah, 100%. It's just one of the most common things that I would coach people to overcome is like, who are you serving? Who are your people? Like, it just comes back to niche every time. And it can be one of the biggest hurdles for people to overcome, because most of us did join the industry because we just wanted to help people. We just wanted to get people healthy and fitter and all that sort of stuff. And like I said, noble, that's great. That's really cool. And I would love to help everyone, but ultimately long term, it's not viable for business, in my opinion. I think just hone it into one specific lane and just become the expert at it. Otherwise, you're always going to remain a generalist. And you're going to be pulled in all the different directions, right? Your direction's not clear. Your solution's not clear. Your messaging's not clear. And that makes your marketing harder. And then that makes your sales harder. So why make life harder for yourself if you can just push past that limiting belief of like, oh, I have to help everybody. It opens up a whole bigger world. Like there's so many people out there, right? And And those of you who are going, all right, cool, I need to spend some time in this niche. Well, there's some things you can do and some questions you can ask. First of all, number one, you need to make sure that you find a niche where there is enough people in there. Okay, so it needs to be broad enough that there's people in there, but not so super broad. We say it's not much point targeting albino pygmies, because there's not many of those out there, and they probably don't want PT. You know what I mean? Next part, are these people hungry? Do they actually physically want what you've got? Right. So it's like, hey, it might be a noble thing targeting the long-term unemployed who are sit on the couch all day and all that sort of stuff. Do they probably need it, but do they really want it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Next thing, do they have a budget? Can they invest in what you've got? So once again, someone who's doesn't fit that category, you go, well, it's probably not going to be a great fit. So they've got to be hungry for your service. They've got to really want it. exactly. Yeah.
And these things are just so important, which we do see also people just completely overlook as well.
Yeah. And I find a lot of people can spin their wheels on it. And my advice would be just like, let's pick one and just like lean into it. Just trust the process. And if you decide it's not for you, or you decide that you want to go in a different direction, just change it.
Yep.
Just get up the next morning and change it. No one's going to notice that you changed your Instagram handle or something like that. A handful of people might. Probably won't even ask a question about it. 2 weeks later, you've forgotten about it.
Yep.
Just move into that new direction.
Yeah, 100%. And then the other part is you don't have to be locked into one, right? So you can service 2, potentially 3 niches. And again, the trap is to, again, try and do too many. I'm going to be everything to everyone.
Yep.
But, once again, I could potentially, I can take what I do, my program, and I can spin it to a different target market, use the same concepts, but just speak a different language to those people,
Yeah, exactly.
The beauty of having the niche is that we get to target our marketing, So once we're clear on who we're targeting, we know exactly the language, we know exactly what we need to be delivering to them.
Yeah, and you said it right there, like target the language that they use, right? Is get out of your own way with that as well. It's a big one. Is like how we describe it probably isn't how they describe their pain, right? So for my early niche was essentially still busy mums at the time, right? But they were coming to me and sitting down in front of me for a consult, and they were saying, I just want to trim down and tone up. I cringe saying those words myself, but I got out of my way. It was my main marketing message for like years, right? Because I needed to speak their language. So they were like, Cal gets it. He understands. He might be the right person for me. I want to trim down and tone up, right? So once I've got them in, then I can teach them about calorie deficit and, building healthy, lean muscle and stuff like that, if they're open to it. But yeah, use their language, right? Put yourself into their shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So good. Now let's back to the 5 stages. Let's talk about the content creation. Now to do this, obviously using chat, there's still going to need some work to be done. It doesn't just like click your fingers. So are there any tips you can give anyone to, who are going through this process?
Yeah. Essentially, we want to prompt it to create it for those 5 stages of customer awareness, but also you can broaden that out to hit on some pain points, like create 10 hooks that are, relatable pain points. What are some funny, relatable things? So you can really broaden it out that way as well. So just asking it all these different follow-up questions. And if you haven't used ChatGPT before as well, like if you stay in that same chat, it's going to remember everything that you've said. So it just gets better at learning about the conversation that you're having with it. So it's going to get clearer and clearer every time you do it as well. So broaden it out, hit those pain points, hit those funny, relatable things, self-limiting beliefs as well. So you can create a diversity of all different kinds of content, but as long as it speaks to your people. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. And then the other part, making sure that you always get some gold, copy paste into a Google Doc, whatever the next step is. Just don't let it sit, because again, you could be going down in the feed and it can move quick, can't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you start backtracking. You're like, shit, where am I? So as you go, copy and paste. Collect it as you go,
yeah. And then the other part to this is we just start to branch off in so many different areas, because now you can say, all right, what I want to do is that someone joins my database and I want to please create me a 5-step email sequence to welcome to the community, nurture them, but I still want to speak the language of X, Y, Z.
Yeah, 100%. It's so versatile, right? Yeah, the emails. Also, you can do podcast scripts with it if you wanted to, right? So there's all sorts of video scripts if you wanted to create some kind of other content, right? So it's unlimited, really, what you can do with it, I think.
Yeah. But if we go back to what we were speaking about at the start, for anyone going through this journey, you got to understand marketing. You got to learn the marketing principles, the marketing formula, because once again, if you don't, it could be challenging.
Yeah. Once you see the way with marketing, you see it everywhere. You see it in everything. I always tell the story about once I learnt this stuff after that initial workshop I did with you guys years ago and learnt this stuff before AI came along. I was finding all different kinds of marketing copy online. I'm like, I can do that. And I remember coming across a Jim's mowing marketing copy piece, and it was about Jim's mowing and nothing to do with women's weight loss at all. And I could see the way with it. And I was like, holy shit, I can use this hook and I can just plug my niche into it. I can use these pain points. I can use these benefits, plug my stuff into it. And it was completely different by the time it was done. But once you see the way with it, you can see the way in everything. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is fascinating. And then, of course, you just see it everywhere. And if you've ever seen the, like the 9 a.m. Mid-morning shows that, I mean, nobody probably watches commercial TV and the Channel 9, Channel 7, all that in these days. Kids wouldn't even know what it is, but, you watch those infomercial type shows and all that, and they follow the marketing formula beautifully, pain, problem, aggravate the pain, bring out the solution, call to action. Like, it's just... And for a lot of people, they go, oh, those things, they do my head in, they're over the top. But you watch them and observe them from the perspective of understanding marketing,
Yeah, 100%. And if they keep putting those things up there on TV, they obviously work.
They work.
Someone's obviously buying it, otherwise it wouldn't be there because the market would tell them that it's not working. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. And I think once you understand a bit of marketing and marketing messaging and all that sort of stuff, you then become harder to market to as well, because you're like, I could see that this might be a dodgy product or something like that as well. So you can really you sort of pick it apart. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's the best, it's the best form of education to also step outside the fitness industry and have a look at how other industries are doing it, like you said, with the gyms mowing and so forth. On that point, actually, I saw an ad yesterday for gyms personal training.
Bullshit.
I'm not sure if this is a new thing, but I was like, I screen captured it and sent it to the big fella. I go, mate, check this out. Jim's personal training. There you go. It's got the bloke with the beard and all that sort of stuff. I'm going. Anyway, if you're a Jim's personal trainer out there, shoot us a line. Let us know that you're active and you're in business. I could picture a dude rocking up in a ute and just like a pair of stubbies. And, all right, let's go, boys.
That would be very cool to see. Yeah.
Sweet, man. So we're in for an action-packed day tomorrow, and these guys are going to walk away with a bucket load of this. But like we're saying, ultimately, what's your end outcome that you would like to see them have implemented by the time they're done this event tomorrow?
The goal is for them to walk away with a metric shit ton of content that's written for them that they might just need to tidy up a little bit. Like I said, AI won't do it all, but for them to walk away with an absolute bucket load of content that they can pull from, and the knowledge to know that they can always visit it and plug their niche in, plug their prompts in and have it spit out fresh stuff. That's what they're going to walk away with. And we're also going to challenge them on the day to actually post something as well, because a lot of people have a fear around posting on social media as well, whatever those fears might be. But I'll use a bit of peer pressure in there and get some people to post.
Love it. So good. Yeah, it's all action orientated. And once again, we speak about those high performers and what is it that separates those that come through. 200 plus people join the program every year, but it's going those that actually get in and the quick action takers, they go for it, right?
Yeah,
they're the ones that get the results, aren't they?
Yeah, challenge yourself, get out of your own way and just take some action, just do it and see what happens. Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? Right? Someone says something mean to you online, who cares?
Now, the other part is that we do, and we have heard this over the years where someone goes, oh, look, it all sounds great, but I don't want to sound like a dickhead or any of that sort of stuff. What would be your comment to that? You're coaching someone and they're like, I'm not sure if how am I going to come across? How am I going to be perceived?
Yeah, it's all in the head. Yeah. It's like the news cycle, right? It's just, there's something on the news and then it's gone 10 minutes later and you forgot about there's a new accident or a new thing, right? So just post it and you'll even forget about it 2 days later, right? Like, so just as long as you're consistently doing it and speaking to your people, that's what's more important. If someone does give you feedback and say, hey man, I don't really like how you're delivering that message, either take that feedback and change, or tell them to stick it up their ass and just keep doing it, right? Like, however you want to do it, just do it. I think if you're worried about offending someone or something like that, it just doesn't happen. Like, I don't think I've ever had anyone say anything mean to me online. I've been posting for years.
Yeah, it's a great statement you make then, because I probably feel like the same. We've had a couple of random things over the years here and there, but mostly on paid ads and mostly people that are not connected to us at all, some sort of trolls or whatever. But yeah, again, I think about all of our clients at Trainer HQ over all the years of doing this. I can't remember someone coming to me and going, oh, by the way, someone was fucking giving me shit,
Yeah, true.
Just doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, and then you do remind me, like, we did have a paid ad where someone vented their struggles in a unsavory way, but it wasn't like it was our problem. Like, I just got on there, pretended I was Talia. Thumbs up. Cool story, bro. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you don't have to get into an argument. Just thumbs up, move on.
Yeah, it'll happen, man. It'll happen. Like you go to Train HQ, go to Google reviews, where we've got over 100, 5-star Google reviews. We've got one on there. There was a disgruntled person. Same thing. Anyone tuning in this, you can go and check it out. And this person, like you'll see the response, because this person, in our opinion, was in the wrong. But hey, they're well within their rights to say their bit. Yeah. We've said our bit, Anyway, it is what it is, right? And it's not going to break you. That's the other part, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, just keep moving on, keep doing it.
Yeah, love it. All right, gang. So those of you, I guess, takeaways from this, ChatGPT, get onto it.
Yeah, get onto it, use it. Know your people, speak to your audience. What are they struggling with? What's the solution you provide? Plug it in there, get it to spit out some content. And you can ask it to spit out multiple pieces of content. Just don't ask it for one. Say, give me 10 of these.
Yep. And then get it live, baby.
100%. Just do it.
Love it, mate. That wraps us up, mate. Thanks for the wisdom, the knowledge, and I know it's going to be absolute crack of a day tomorrow, so pumped up for it.
Can't wait. Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Cal.